What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show. We discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and a stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. More than 40 civil rights and racial justice groups here this week called on Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to ensure that the U.S. Senate votes to reinstate the monthly enhanced child tax credit, which last year was credited with slashing child poverty by 30%. And now, which has been temporarily paused or has not been reinstated. A lot of people say because of one person, Joe Manchin, was not willing to vote for it, even though he voted for it last time around in the third stimulus check package. You can see here, civil rights group demand Senate reinstate desperately needed child tax credit. You can see here with U.S. families now spending an average of $327 more per month than usual. The group says this toll on family budgets could be offset by a single monthly child tax credit payment. Yeah, you can see here restoring the payments, which ended in December after Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat from West Virginia, announced he would not support his party's signature Build Back Better agenda, would be the, quote, most immediate meaningful response to higher prices that Congress can deliver to 36 million families who previously benefited from the child tax credit, said the groups including Parents Together Action, the NAACP, and People's Action. Said, quote, ending these life-saving payments drove up hunger and forced parents to make impossible choices to try to keep their families fed and housed. The groups noted that the monthly child tax credit payments, which were fully refundable, helped millions of Black and Latino families who have been, quote, historically left out of the full child tax credit. This is because the old child tax credit, which has been around for like 23 or 24 years, and it has historically gone up with inflation. It started off as a couple $100, way back in the day, 23 years ago. And then former President Donald Trump and his daughter made the movement to raise it from $1,000 per child to $2,000 per child. But one of the key points there is that you had to file a tax return. Okay? And the main point there is that what a lot of people would argue is that a lot of the poorest individuals in America do not file tax returns. So there's millions and millions and millions of low income, poor people that don't file every single year. So they're missing out on $2,000 per child. And now it's gone up to $3,000 to $3,600, or at least it did last year. And they had the monthly payment option, which is, its studies show, is a really great option because when you give somebody $300 per month instead of $3,600 at one shot, the $3,600 is just, statistics show it will not last for the whole year. Somebody goes and buys $1,000 iPhone, or they go on a vacation and it's gone really quickly. As opposed to you give somebody $300 per month, every month they use it for food, or they use it to help pay their rent. They use it for necessities, right? Statistics just show that. It's just proven, okay? Well, the problem is now is that first of all, it's going to go back down to $2,000 instead of $3,000 to $3,600 per child. So it's instantly 50 to 70% less. You're going from $3,000 to $2,000, or $3,600 down to $2,000, okay? And you're going to have to file taxes. Think about the millions of people that don't file taxes every year because They're not required to because their income is low enough or so low that they don't have to file taxes. Think about how many people didn't even know about the child tax credits. There's literally millions of people that don't know about it. There's also an adult tax credit called the Earned Income Tax Credit that millions of adults don't get because they don't file taxes. It's actually for low-income adults. But millions of adults don't get it because they don't file taxes. There's a lot of tax credits that millions of people don't get simply because they just don't file. So hopefully I have helped out a lot of people with a lot of these things and rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance as well if you've watched my channel. Remember that for the child tax credit, this is just one thing we cover here on our channel. We'll try to cover everything. Hopefully you've seen my Social Security video that just came out about $2,400 more for seniors, just announced by Bernie Sanders. It's a really good video I just did here like a day ago. You definitely need to watch that. I'll link you to that here at the end of this video. Yeah, really good video here. I literally right from Bernie Sanders' mouth, so you'll get to see him speak about it. But I literally try to cover everything that could put money in people's pockets. Okay, but anybody that has children, which is like tens of millions of people, right? Those monthly payments for the child tax credits were only for half the year last year. To get the other half of the money, which is $1,500 to $1,800 per child, hopefully you already know what I'm going to say because you've seen my videos and you know, you have to file a tax return to get it. There's millions of people that don't file every year, okay? So if you don't file a tax return for 2021, which is now here, you file it here in 2022, even though it's past April 15th or April 18th in this case this year, it's okay. You still file. There's no penalties if you don't owe the IRS money. The penalties are only if you owe the IRS. If they owe you, there's no penalties. And even if there were penalties, even if you have a penalty, it's just a little bit of interest, okay? But regardless, if they owe you money, there's no penalties. But remember that you only got the monthly payments for half the year. They didn't start till July. The other first half of the year, January through June, the IRS still owes you that money. To get that money, you have to file a tax return. Hopefully I have helped out as many people as I can. If you have anybody that you know or any friends or family, send this video to them, share this video. There's a share button down below. You can just copy the link and message it to them or email it to them or say, hey, watch this video because they literally will miss out on $1,500 to $1,800 per child if they don't watch this video. And here's a simple link for it too as well. Here is a quick article. It's from CNN. Again, I cover CNN. I cover Fox News. I have no discrimination. I get that some people don't like, but it's still a reputable source, right? I get it. The Republicans, are rolling their eyes. I get it. Biden administration renews effort to get enhanced child tax credit to low-income families, okay? They have just put out this new website here, two of them. Free tools available, childtaxcredit.gov, getctc.org. If you didn't file a tax return, you can basically use these two websites, one or the other, and you can basically file a tax return, a simple tax return for free on one of those websites. And it'll kind of do it for you just by asking you some simple questions, okay? Keep that in mind. Also, if you're missing a stimulus check, I still get to see these comments all the time. I'm missing stimulus check number 3. I'm missing stimulus check number 2. I'm still waiting on it, Jimmy. Well, guess what? They're not going to send it to you. They're not sending those out anymore. You know how you get it? Well, first of all, you listen to It's Jimmy because I'm here to help out as many people as possible. You get it by filing a tax return. That's right, because stimulus checks are actually tax refunds. So if you don't normally file a tax return, guess what you need to do? File a tax return. Even if you don't normally do one, in this case, you want to because they owe you money. Okay, stimulus check 1 and 2 are for years 2020 underneath former President Trump. Okay, so if you are owed stimulus check 1 or 2, it's 2020 tax return. If you're owed stimulus check number 3 or any of your dependents or children, you're going to want to file a tax return for 2021. Last year, you file it now here in 2022. But if you're not used to filing a tax return, you just want to file a simple tax return, guess what? I have a website for you as well, a government website where they will file a simple tax return for you for free as well. I know I'm full of useful, awesome things like this. Check this out. Here we go. 10 million people missing out on stimulus payments. What do you need to do? File a tax return. If you're missed getting your stimulus and didn't take the stimulus credit on your tax return, because that's how you get it. If you already filed a tax return, you can file an amended tax return to get it. That'll be a little bit more complicated, and it'll take you a while to get it because the IRS is really far behind. So, yeah. You can still get it by going to getyourrefund.org. That's a government website, by the way. Getyourrefund.org. Okay? So, there you go. But again, this is only if you're missing a stimulus check 1, 2, or 3 that you haven't gotten already. And, really, I feel really bad for all these different groups of people here. Everybody really suffering with inflation, gas prices, child tax credits, student loans, people on Social Security, fixed income. Thankfully, right now we have a lot of states stepping up here. I have another video here that will be coming out here with stimulus checks that are going to be coming out here with delivery dates and all sorts of other good information coming out here that you'll definitely need to see. But the thing is here is that states are really flush with cash, billions and billions of dollars. The federal government is too, because they're taking in more. See, the thing right now is that because unemployment has gone down dramatically, that means that millions and millions of people have gone back to work. Okay. President Biden says that $1.5 trillion the federal government is going to be able to pay down the federal deficit. Okay. So this means that they're taking in trillions of dollars more than normal. Okay. So the government is really just used to losing money, as crazy as that sounds. It's really it's not a Democrat, it's not a Republican thing, really. It's been happening for a long time. There was like 1 year way back in the day when former President Clinton tried to balance the budget. He came out with this budget where he says, we balanced the budget, we're going to be net positive. He came out with this balanced budget to this big hoopla. And when all was said and done, I believe at the end of the day, they were still net negative. They still lost money, if you think about it as a business, right? Uh, you know, we all kind of thought that Trump was going to do the same. Well, he actually lost about $8 trillion in 4 years. And again, I'm not really picking sides, as you can kind of look this up on the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office. Now, Biden didn't do well either in his first year, the pandemic, and that third stimulus check package wasn't paid for at all. Okay. Now they did want to make the Build Back Better stimulus package fully paid for, with tax raises on corporations and wealthy people, aka it was going to be fully paid for. That's very different than stimulus package 1, 2 underneath Trump, and 3, if I could get these numbers. So stimulus package 1, 2, and 3 were not paid for at all. That means that there was no revenue raising. They didn't raise any new revenue for them. Okay. Now the Build Back Better package is and or was or will be fully paid for because just everybody's like budget conscious all of a sudden. Okay. But everybody's fine with that because they can do that. They want to raise taxes on corporations. They want to raise taxes on wealthy individuals. They want to, quote, make them pay their fair share all of a sudden now. So they have all those like ready to go. They just need the votes to pass it. Okay. Well, the Republicans all want to vote no. The Democrats all want to vote yes. And then you got Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema kind of in there. you know, so you kind of got a little bit of what's going to be in the bill that can pass, right? And we have all these states passing bills, and when we have states passing checks, tax rebate checks, stimulus checks, anti-inflation checks, you got the same thing. You have Democrats and Republicans on the state level saying, well, I want to send this check, I want to send that check, well, I want to cut taxes. I think we should leave this amount of money in the rainy day fund. I think we should send out this amount of money. So you kind of have the same type of thing, and they're squabbling over Social Security as well, how to do, Bernie Sanders and the Democrats want to raise benefits. Republicans say, oh no, we can't, because I kind of listened to the thing. We can't raise benefits because it's going to run out of money in the future. We need to just tax people and not raise benefits. So again, you kind of have a back and forth type of thing. But if you kind of listen to Bernie's argument, he says, we're the wealthiest country in America. Inflation's going up. It's like 50 some percent of seniors have no savings at all, and they've worked their whole lives. We have to take care of them. We have the money to do this. We're literally the wealthiest country in the history of time if you just literally look at our GDP over the course of history, what we're worth in relation to other countries. And now, so we actually took in, now that we're actually taking in more money, we've actually pushed the Social Security date off. And what they want to do, I actually just did another video on that, a really good video I just did like a few videos ago. I'll link you to that video here as well. Um, yeah, they can really just tweak things a little bit, raise taxes on people that are making like 250 to $400,000 or more, and that brings in a lot more revenue because there's people that make millions and millions and millions, and they stop paying taxes on like it's like 160 some thousand. It changes every year with inflation, but they just stop paying Social Security taxes. So people that make hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars, they're not paying taxes on 90 some percent of their income. So there is a lot of money that could be taxed by the rich, and that money is kind of exponential there. That money is kind of exponential there. And you also kind of got to think about the money that Social Security was that the 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 fund that was kind of plundered from. And you also kind of think about where our priorities lie as a nation when 50 some plus percent of our senior population have no savings, and we've already racked up, $30 trillion in debt. Social Security has almost $3 trillion. If we gave Social Security another trillion, let's just say we gave them $1 trillion, okay? Would it make a difference if our national debt was 30 trillion or 31 trillion? And let's just say we gave Social Security $1 trillion, because remember, we borrowed money from Social Security. If we gave them $1 trillion and the national debt was 31 trillion or 30 trillion, would that make a difference? But would it make a difference in Social Security and millions of people's lives that are actual people that live, die, and breathe in our country, and have raises for people that are literally using this money to survive, and for food and for electric and for housing in the richest country in America? Or should we cut benefits and say, well, sorry, it's just not, there's just no money to go around here? So you got to kind of think, it's like, does this number in the sky, this national deficit, mean more? Or does the actual people in the country that do the living in America mean more? I mean, when we were running up this deficit to 30 trillion, nobody seemed to care about it then. So you got to kind of think about, where do our priorities lie? And when they go to vote on stuff like this, you got to think about, what are the priorities of our country? Are the priorities actually the people? Because the seniors, the people on Social Security, because guess what? I'm not quite a senior yet. I'm in my 40s, but everybody plans on being a senior if they make it there. Everybody plans on being on Social Security, hopefully, if they get there. Um, do we want to take care of our elderly? Do we want to work and get there? Do we want to take care of our people? Or do we want to say, when you make it to retirement, you're on your own? Too bad. Just let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll link you to that video here in a moment. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel down below. Click the subscribe button. It's completely free to do so. Literally probably one of the only things free left in this world. Just makes it so you won't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After you click subscribe, click the bell icon that appears so you get notifications when we go live. You can click here to see my new video on Social Security. You'll hear Bernie Sanders talk about how they want to raise Social Security benefits. And here's my newest video on stimulus checks. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.